Get ready to have a cold backbone. Yes, it's 12 spine-chilling discoveries made by scientists. Well, did you get it? Get the pun? Okay. With each passing day, science continues to move forward. It keeps expanding the boundaries of human capabilities to such an extent that it seems like it's just a matter of time until we see something we could have imagined only in the boldest sci-fi flicks. Seems pretty amazing, right? But don't get too excited. When it comes down to it, some of these things may seem quite scary and even a bit unsettling. So, we at Brightside decided to find out whether such astounding progress is good and if this science of the future can actually come back and bite us later. Did you know that there's a strong chance of a remote control for the body and brain being invented? Boy, this would have been good when I was raising teenagers. Anyway, watch the video carefully for more shocking details. Counting down, number 12. Transplantation of a human head. Sergio Canavera, a neurosurgeon from Italy, is planning to take on a divine endeavor, bringing people back from the dead. This Italian scientist is sure that successful transplantation of a human head is a fairly realistic possibility. Canavera's very first patient will be Chinese, and the operation is expected to be performed in 2018. The professor has already given new life to a couple of rats, one dog, and some monkeys. However, it is still unclear how exactly the brain reacts to such dramatic changes. If Canavera's human experiment is successful, it won't change the science world, as much as it'll scare the public and remind us all of that famous Frankenstein novel. Or we'll find out if two heads are better than one. Number 11. Selective amnesia. Would you like to get rid of all your phobias, worries, bad memories, and fears? Well, lucky for you, scientists are now ready to do just that and rid your brain of all the negative thoughts and flashbacks without affecting the important parts of your life's history. All this can be done by combining brain scanning technologies and artificial intelligence. This might sound like excellent news, but let's try to look at it from a different perspective. What if someone uses this little life hack to mess around with someone else's brain? Now it doesn't seem like such a cool idea, does it? I guess with time, we'll see in which direction this new technology will go. Number 10. Water on Mars. In 2016, NASA made an exciting announcement. There are some tiny frozen seas on Mars. In fact, scientists don't exclude the likelihood that the water there may flow underground. And where there's water, there's the possibility of life, right? Well, this discovery also invites assumptions of the existence of some alien civilization. On top of that, we should probably ask ourselves one question. What if they moved in next door and had loud parties? No, not that question. What would happen if Mars started heating up and the water began to sustain life? All these possibilities and potential consequences are both terrifying and a bit fascinating at the same time. We'll most likely see what happens next. Number 9. A child from 3 parents. Well, this should be good. In 2016, a baby boy was born using a new and innovative technique that incorporates DNA from not 2, but 3 people. This scientific sensation allowed the baby's parents to conceive a perfectly healthy newborn, despite the fact that the mother carries genes of Leigh syndrome, which is a fatal disorder that affects the central nervous system. But surprisingly enough, this is not the first trigenic experiment. There was one in the 1990s that unfortunately didn't end well. The experiment failed, and all the exclusive children inherited some genetic defects. Just a truly illustrative example of how far science has come. Number 8. Organs grown in a lab. Scientists at The Ohio State University, go Buckeyes, have spent nearly 15 weeks in the lab growing a human brain. The final product of this serious lab work has the same developmental level as a 9-week-old fetus. Either way, this brain can't think properly. Well, neither can I. But it could be just a matter of time as the university's experiments still continue. And there is a question that needs to be answered here. How well will this lab-grown organ work? I mean, how many stops and keyboards will it have? Oh, wait, that's a different kind of organ. Never mind. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll actually reach the point to where these brains will be used for their direct purposes. What do you think about such possibilities? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Number 7. Plastic diseases. Plastic has quickly become the drug of the 21st century. We see it everywhere and don't really consider any of the potential repercussions of using it. It can't be that bad, can it? Trust us, that's an ill-advised assumption. As it turns out, we consume loads of poisonous chemicals every day without even realizing it. Plastic drink containers and bottles can lead to all sorts of health problems. Among them are uterine cancer, breast cancer, heart attack, diabetes, and that's just a drop in the bucket of the whole list of possible surprises you may end up with. So there is definitely something to change and seriously think about. In any case, forewarned is forearmed. Unless of course you're an octopus, then you're 8-armed. Sorry. Number 6. Nanorobots inside people. Nanorobots the size of molecules. Sounds like a thing from some awesome sci-fi movie. Not quite. In fact, it was a huge hit in the science world in 2015. These teeny-tiny bots can store and transport remedies to sick and ailing parts in your body. Amazingly enough, these little babies can also detect disease cells on their own. What a great invention, right? But what if this technology fell into the hands of the wrong person? Yeah, we may be a bit paranoid, but still, the consequences wouldn't be that promising. It seems like there are two sides of pretty much every huge scientific development and step forward. Let's hope that this idea will be put into practice the right way. Number 5. There are 1 billion planets that look like the Earth. 2 years ago, NASA came to the conclusion that there are nearly 1 billion planets that are similar to the Earth. And we're talking about in our galaxy alone. Just imagine, what could be outside of it? So basically, what it means is that there are billions of planets where intelligent life could possibly live. One of these planets is Kepler 452b, which scientists describe as the most Earth-like planet that we know of out there. However, it's really far away from our own Earth, and that's why we don't know that much about it. Still, the thought of 1 billion Earths in just our galaxy reinforces the already strong feeling that we may not be the only ones in this endless universe. Number 4. 3D bioprinter that can print human skin. Now, if you still can't get your head around how exactly 3D printers can print houses, here's another fact that will shock you even more. Spanish scientists have presented a prototype of a bioprinter that can print totally functional human skin. The skin can be used for transplantation, cosmetics testing, and really any type of medical experimentation. This is actually one of the first functional human organs created using bioprinting technologies. It's a big leap forward. But just imagine somebody actually putting this pseudo-natural skin on. Ooh, the thought of this is simply terrifying and pretty disturbing. Yes, progress is great, but all of these changes can be a bit scary sometimes. Number 3. Bacteria evolving faster than we find cures for them. And now for some truly horrifying information. Even though medicine continues to advance forward as quickly as it can with all its new and effective antibiotics and vaccines, it turns out that it isn't moving fast enough. Unfortunately, some strains of bacteria are always a couple of steps ahead of us. Take the influenza virus as an example. It mutates so fast that last year's vaccine is totally ineffective and kind of useless now, in spite of all the hard work that was put into creating it. Even in the 21st century, with all its incredible and mind-blowing discoveries, there is still an alarming possibility of dying from the flu. Truly alarming. Number 2. You still with me? Okay. Number 2. Mysterious universe. Our universe is incredibly vast and mysterious. We've learned so much about our universe over the past few decades, that it's surprising to find out that we actually know only 4% of all information about it. For instance, such important things as dark matter and dark energy are completely unexplored to this day. The only thing astronomers are sure of is that all these dark parts are the main causes for the expansion of the universe. As a matter of fact, it will continue to expand until it becomes cold and desolate. Just like with anything connected to outer space, this is both fascinating and eerie. And number 1. Remote control for the brain. There is one old but still amusing scientific fact you probably didn't know about. In 1923, scientists learned to control the brain's neurons, which allowed them to control movements and manipulate emotions and feelings. Sounds kinda dark, right? And that's not all. The first ever subject of such horrifying experiments was an angry bull that was forced to calm down instantly just by pressing a specific button on a remote control. No, that's not a lot of bull, it actually worked, proving the success of this invention. Luckily, scientists drew the line there and didn't conduct any experiments on people. But just the thought of all the secret potential of such studies blows our minds. Total domination in its purest form. So, which one of these discoveries worried you the most? Tell us in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to see more informative and fun videos, and stay on the bright side of life with us. Until next time.